If you love key lime, you're gonna want today's recipe. It's a key lime cheesecake. It is creamy and delicious with a lime curd topping. You're not gonna wanna miss it. Hey everyone, it's Dorothy with crazyforcrust.com and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm showing you how to make a key lime cheesecake. This has a graham cracker crust, a creamy cheesecake, and then you can optionally top it with lime curd. It's delicious. For more delicious desserts and easy recipes, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Now let's get in the kitchen. Let's start off by making our crust with 8 tablespoons of melted butter. I'm using unsalted, along with 1/4 cup of packed brown sugar and 2 cups of graham cracker crumbs. You can crush them yourself or you can use the crumbs from the box. It's much easier that way. You can also add some cinnamon and a pinch of salt here if you want. Just stir that together. I like stirring it together with a fork because I find that it makes it more sandy instead of compact if you were using a spoon. Just stir that together until it's nice and sandy and mixed together. Now the key to making a delicious, dense, creamy cheesecake without a crack in it, for me, that secret is to use a water bath. Now I have a whole post detailing how to make a water bath and I will link that down below. But basically you just wrap your pan with foil, and because the pan is a springform pan, that bottom is gonna come loose. You have to wrap it with foil. I like to also use a roasting bag. Now this is a turkey roasting bag. They have smaller ones that are like for beef or for like chickens. But they're just found in the Ziploc aisle and they're like a Reynolds product. It's a like cooking bag that I always cook my turkeys in at Thanksgiving. But if you just wrap that around, then you will be sure that no water will get into that cheesecake. Then I'm gonna add the crust into my prepared pan. You do not need to grease the pan, just pour the crumbs into that and then press them into the bottom and up about an inch or so up the sides evenly around the pan. You can use your hands for this. I find my hands are much easier than, I know some people will use a glass or something else to press it down. I just find that like my hands work way better than anything else. So I use my hands to just press it into the bottom and then around the edges of the sides of the pan. You do want it to come up about an inch or so, so that it can kind of hold that cheesecake. Then you're just gonna chill this until the filling is ready. No pre-baking needed. And then let's start our cheesecake mixture with 2 8-ounce packages of cream cheese. Make sure that it is room temperature. That is so important for making cheesecake. You want your cream cheese to be room temperature, softened. You don't want it to, if you want to avoid lumps in your cheesecake, everything needs to be room temperature, including your sour cream and your eggs. So make sure and set them out several hours before you start. To that, we're gonna add 1 cup of sour cream. You can use low fat if you want, but just go ahead and use the full fat. It tastes better that way. And 3/4 cup of sugar. And you're just gonna beat this. It's so much easier with a stand mixer if you have one. Go ahead and mix that together, and then we're gonna add in the eggs while it's mixing. We're adding 3 eggs, add 1 at a time. I recommend cracking them into a little bowl just so you don't end up with shells in there. Make sure you're scraping the bowl in between all this mixing because especially in a stand mixer, it'll congeal at the bottom. Then you're going to add the zest of 2 key limes, a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 2 tablespoons of flour along with 3 tablespoons of key lime juice. That's gonna add all of that key lime flavor. Now I know key limes aren't always in season. Sometimes it's hard to find them. So if you can't find key limes, you can use the bottled key lime juice. And tip, I always use the bottled key lime juice for this just because I don't wanna squeeze all those little tiny limes. You're gonna get like 3 drops out of each one. So I do use the key lime zest and I use the key limes for on top of the cheesecake for decoration, but I love using the bottled key lime juice because it's just so much easier. And then just continue mixing until no lumps remain. Make sure you're scraping the sides of the bowl occasionally. Then add that cheesecake mixture into your prepared crust and we're gonna get it ready to bake by finishing off that water bath that we started before. You're just gonna put your pan in a roasting pan and you're gonna add hot water to this. Now I'm doing this on the counter for the sake of the video, but I highly recommend putting the cheesecake in the oven on the rack and then pouring the boiling water in around it, just so you don't burn yourself when you're transitioning it to the oven. Bake for about 50 to 60 minutes at 350 until the cheesecake is just slightly jiggly in the center. Turn off the oven, let it sit in the oven for about an hour so it can set. Remove it from the oven, let it cool completely, and then cover it and refrigerate it overnight. So don't put plastic wrap directly on your cheesecake or it'll get those little pock marks in it. Then remove the ring and you can decorate it as you wish. Now, once you have that cheesecake all baked, I'm going to top this with some whipped cream. I love just putting little dollops of whipped cream and maybe some slices of key limes on there. And you can also use my lime curd recipe. I will link my lime curd below and my lemon curd video up top. It's basically the same recipe. I'm just using lime juice and lime zest instead of lemon. But I love the sweet and tart mixture with having that on top. You can either cover the whole top with it or just drizzle it on to each slice, let everyone do their own, choose their own adventure. You can see how like creamy and set this cheesecake is. It's so creamy, and that graham cracker crust is such a great combination. I love drizzling this with lime curd. Like I said, this is such a delicious cheesecake and I know you're going to love it. Leave me a comment and let me know what other key lime recipes you'd like to see, and keep watching for even more desserts.